4 years later, family members and activists are outraged after little has changed since the death of Eric Garner, an unarmed black man who died after being put in a chokehold by police. Nate Rogers has more.
That's right, though 4 years ago today, Eric Garner died, prompting a series of nationwide protests against the deaths of unarmed black men. Today, Garner's family and his supporters rallying together, still demanding justice.
They say get back.
They say get back.
We say fight back.
We say fight back.
Get back.
Fight back.
Get back.
Fight back.
Garner's mother was accompanied by city and state leaders, clergy, and Black Lives Matter activists outside City Hall Tuesday afternoon. The mom said officers involved must be held accountable.
They killed him. He was unarmed. He had just broke up a fight.
Garner died July 17, 2014, after being placed in a chokehold by NYPD officer Daniel Pantaleo. The 43-year-old unarmed husband and father of 6 was allegedly selling loose cigarettes near his Staten Island home. Video shows Garner being restrained by several NYPD officers. His last words, "I can't breathe," fueled the Black Lives Matter movement, with hundreds of thousands rallying nationwide against brutality.
We have to make a statement now and forever to the NYPD and all law enforcement that our lives will always have value and we will never roll over while you kill us in front of the world and play dead.
Now, Bill, here's where the case stands right now. The Department of Justice is still investigating possible criminal charges. DOJ would not respond when we asked the status of their investigation. The NYPD says they'll now move forward with their own disciplinary hearings of the officers involved in September. De Blasio reportedly claimed the city's investigation was pending DOJ's conclusion. DOJ says their investigation has absolutely nothing to do with federal charges.
And for 4 years, we have waited for a decision by the Justice Department and New York City NYPD as to whether to pursue civil rights charges, with no conclusion, no resolution, and not even a timeline in sight.
Now, also, Bill, the city has reportedly settled a wrongful death lawsuit with Garner's family, totaling $5.9 million. And finally, Bill, the officer involved remains on desk duty following Garner's death. His reported salary last year, $120,000. Bill?
Thanks, Nate. We're going to go to our pop culture expert, Lisa Durden, now to talk about this story. Lisa, 4 years, we've been waiting for justice for Eric Garner, the family, his friends. Too long for this? Pointing the buck back and forth. What do you think?
If you have to ask, is it too long? Clearly, it's too long. It's 4 years too long. And I applaud the deputy commissioner for making that decision and pulling the plug on this ridiculous roller coaster ride we've been on, trying to get the police officer in a court of law to now figure out if he should be tried and convicted of murder, which of course I think he should. Why would you do this to anybody's family when this person has died in a chokehold, by the way? That's an illegal action in the police department in New York. You're not supposed to do chokeholds in the state of New York.
Well, but
so
Lisa,
this person did something very illegal.
It looks like they're going to be looking at disciplinary charges against this officer. I'm not sure where that's going to go beyond that. Is that enough?
Right. No. First of all, the officer was allowed to continue his job while being paid after doing an illegal chokehold on Eric Garner and murdering the man. So no, they did not do enough to this man. The investigation has been dragging on like a snail. It's time for them to move the heck on and get this done.
Thanks, Lisa. We're going to bring in our A-plus panel to also comment on some of this. Bob, you're former prosecutor. What do you think here? I mean, we got a federal investigation overlapping now with the state or local investigation. What are your thoughts?
Okay, first of all, the whole idea of internal affairs was that at the same time that a criminal investigation is occurring, you can run an internal affairs investigation so that the department can get quickly to the idea of whether they have a temperamentally fit officer or a training problem. So sometimes, as a prosecutor, when I was investigating a case of a police brutality, would I ask that they not do an investigation so that it didn't interfere with my investigation? Yes. But 4 years is an absurd amount of time.
Absolutely.
Either for the criminal investigation or for the internal affairs investigation. And I say absurd both for the officer that is at risk as well as the family who deserve finality to this.
Allison, what do you think?
I mean, 4 years is just way too long. So I think we can all argue that justice hasn't been served for either party here. But you know, one of the big challenges that too is that the Department of Justice, as they're dragging their feet on this has spanned 2 administrations. There's blame to go around to the Justice Department, but something's got to. I mean, 4 years, we can honestly say that justice.
I mean, how much more information and data do they need? I mean, it's on videotape.
Well, and I think we're owed some information too about why it's taking so long.
We're going to have to leave it here for now. We'll come back and visit it as it goes on, though.